Oh, no, we're good.
Hi,
We're
Maya.
good.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. You seem a little frazzled.
Um, just a little bit. Sorry, I'm a little late.
Okay. So, did you get my email about our agenda? So today, I really just wanted to go over, your caseload. I'll just talk through a mini audit, to see where you're at in terms of your files and keeping up with our signing qualifications and everything. And then talk to you a little bit about PTO, which is really fits right on time in terms of you coming in late, and just talk about, PTO standards, how to actually request PTO, and talk a little bit about self-care and just see how you're doing and where you're at and how I can assist you.
Okay. Yeah, I did get your reminder about the agenda. And I actually kind of wanted to talk to you about some things that are going on in my personal life.
Okay, we can definitely do that. Let's talk about that first, because I think everything else can kind of play in together. So I have noticed that you have been, a lot quieter around the office. You've been running late a lot, and stepping away from the office, but your PTO records don't show that. So, what's going on?
Well, I've been going through a hard time, kind of in my personal life. I went to the Employee Assistance Center, and, had a session with them to kind of talk about this, but I've just been overwhelmed and depressed.
When was your first session?
Today.
It was today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's a lot then, huh? That took a lot on you.
Right, it did.
And then you came straight here to supervision?
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you feeling after going through that?
It was hard because that's the first session. That's when you're doing your assessment. That's everything. So it was just like diving deep and then come back to work.
And you got to reset and recharge, and it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
For ourselves. Why didn't you take PTO for the rest of the day?
I didn't think about it.
Okay. So when you think of PTO, right, what do you think PTO is for?
Doctors, vacations and like planned stuff, like far in advance, like stuff you're looking forward to.
Okay. So the reality is, Maya, you could have taken the afternoon off had you requested PTO. So PTO is about it's personal time off, right?
Right.
So it's you being able to take off time when you need it for yourself. So like today would have been a great time for you to say, you know what, Taj, after this session, like I would have loved had you let me know that you were going to the session beforehand, and we could have done that. So I apologize. But this would have been a good time to say, Taj, after this session, I'm just not feeling coming back to work and helping somebody else deal with their stuff.
Right.
And I'm, trying to process through my own stuff. So this would have been a perfect time for you to be able to, take PTO for the afternoon and do some me time, whether that's going to get a pedicure, a manicure, whatever that looks like for you. Are you aware of how to access the PTO system?
Do you have to email HR?
You do not. It's actually a web link, so I can give you that web link and everything, and that's a good place for you to go in and actually monitor your PTO and look and see. So you can plan for your vacations, but still keep a cushion for like emergencies and everything.
Okay.
Would that help some?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So one thing I wanted to talk about, like, give you some kudos. Your work has been excellent. So, like, for me to hear that you're going through all these things and, like, you're really struggling, your work has not suffered at all. My only concern was you being away from the office and not utilizing PTO, and I didn't know if you were flexing your time or, your calendar didn't reflect those things. So, also, you can make sure that you put, when you have appointments and things, just put them in your Outlook calendar. Okay. Not necessarily on your ECR, but just in your Outlook, it just says, hey, Taj, I have a doctor's appointment, just so that I know those things and I know what's going on. Even if it's something family related, just put family stuff, or, just a way so that we can stay connected and I know what's going on as well.
Okay.
So like I said, your work has been excellent. Like I said, I'm not worried about you taking time. I just want to make sure you're actually using your PTO correctly.
Right.
Your notes are well. You're meeting all of your productivity goals. I was looking over some of your files, and I really don't have any concerns. Did you have any clients that stood out in terms of concerned about where your clients are, or additional help that you can offer?
Yeah, I did kind of want to consult with you.
Okay.
About one of the moms on my caseload.
Okay.
She's going into like partial hospitalization. And so she's like super concerned about losing her kids. But she doesn't have an open CPS case.
Okay.
And so,
okay. Is mom like very anxious? Or
yes, mom is extremely anxious.
Okay. So have you guys talked about that at all and how that may be contributing to some of her fears?
Yeah, we did kind of go over that.
Okay.
We kind of, I gave her some mindfulness exercises, but she's kind of hesitant to use those.
Okay.
She's like, she's one to go take a Xanax
and lay down.
And
she has kids though, right?
Yes.
So maybe you could have her do some of that mindfulness things with the kids. Or you could refer her kids to the chill program, and so then her kids would then get some of those skills there, and then she could get a break. And then on top of that, it kind of completes that circle where the entire family is getting some of those skills, and it's reinforcing itself. Okay. Also, I know on the DHHS site, they have like a fact sheet. Have you saw that at all?
Yeah, I did see that. I think I actually printed it out.
Okay.
Here.
Was that something you were interested in using with her?
Yeah, I kind of looked it over. And I thought this would be a good thing to go over with her, but I don't know. Is it too jargony? Is it going to be too...
I don't think so. I think it would be something good that you could use to her, since she's not mandated, right?
Right.
Like she made this decision for her to go in on her own.
Yes.
So I think this would be a good tool for her to be able to use that gives the facts for her, and it has the different colors and things. So it's something that the kids could use too. So it'd be a good tool for the entire family. Again, I would probably make sure to, I would advise, or in my opinion, you would want to make sure that you let her know how courageous it is of her to make that decision to go into, inpatient services, because hospitalization can be very scary.
Right.
And her fears, even though she doesn't have a CPS case, I think there is a certain level of distrust of services, because she does have past CPS cases, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense in terms of why she's feeling so anxious and why she's worried about losing her kids, because in a sense, going into the hospital is like saying you can't care for your kids.
Right.
Like things have reached a point where you're unable to do it. So I would more so like reassure her, like, you know what, you made a good decision, because as a mother, if you're not 100% in yourself, you're not going to be a great mother to your kids, and that's important to her, I would assume.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Or else she wouldn't be doing
it.
Right. How do I validate her feelings, but still, I want to make sure she knows that what she's feeling is valid, but you're not going to get your kids taken away.
Right.
How do I find that balance?
I mean, it's about being honest with her about that and saying, you know what, you have had CPS cases in the past, and maybe talk about what are some of those CPS cases, what do they look like, and see if she can identify the difference in then and now. Like not then, yep, you may have had some different substance abuse problems, substance use disorder was probably very high at that time. Just an unhealthy relationship, self-esteem was probably very low, but just really looking at her as a mother and a person then, and her as a mother and a person now, and see if she can identify some of those differences to help, validate, like, what, that is a real reality for you in your life right now. Like, CPS could come in and take your kids, but, in the past, it was probably a little bit higher than it is now, because if we look at the steps that you've taken, things are just different now than what they were then. And so just having that conversation and being honest with her about that.
Yeah, that's a good idea for our next session.
I don't know. I don't have anything else, Maya. You did a great job making sure that I received all of your file reviews on time, so I appreciate that. Just to double check and reinforce one rule: how many hours do you have to sign off on any of your progress notes?
48.
48 hours, yes.
Okay.
You should know it. You've been hitting that mark. So just make sure you continue to do that. If you have any questions, you don't have to wait until our supervision time. If you ever just need to drop in and ask a question, you are always welcome to do that. whatever you need, I am there. So if you don't have any more questions,
I think we're good.
Okay. Well, I will see you next week. And you have a good rest of your week. If you need anything else, let me know. And then don't let me forget to send you the link for the PTO so that you can continue to do that. I'm actually gonna go to my desk and do it now, so that there's no problem.
Yep.
No problems.
Okay.
But alrighty. Well, thank you.
Yep.